Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we have another best of the year, but instead of sharing my best of the year, today I'm actually sharing your favorite fragrances of 2023. I wanted to share and get a general consensus of what your guys' favorites were to kind of share, because oftentimes, you know, I'm only giving my opinion, and I feel like I am very specific with fragrances I like and don't like, and I do typically go for the very sweet gourmands. Of course, I also attract that kind of audience as well, but a lot of you guys also like other scents too, so I thought this would be fun to just see like what you guys thought were the top scents, which a lot of them I would totally agree with, and if you guys want to see it, I can definitely film my top favorites as well if you guys want to see my like top perfumes of the year, top Bath & Body Works scents. But today I'm going over the top fragrances that you guys chose, and this includes perfumes and fragrance mists as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start with this fragrance mist because this was probably the #1 mentioned thing when I asked in my video and on my community tab, and it is actually a Bath & Body Works fragrance mist. This is Iced Lemon Pound Cake. So I know I have a lot of gourmand girlies on here that love the same scents as I do, and this was definitely a top favorite for me this year too. Bath & Body Works hasn't released a lot of gourmands this year, so the few that they did were really great. For some reason, this was an online exclusive. I don't know why, but it's so delicious. Now, Iced Lemon Pound Cake, this has notes of sugary glazed icing, pure lemon zest, and fluffy pound cake. I know there has been some great lemon perfumes this year, but this is the most edible. This is like a true Starbucks lemon loaf. If you guys have had their lemon loaf, it is so authentic. It is so sweet. I love pairing it with different lemon perfumes to add even more sweetness. And I know people complain about Bath & Body Works mist not lasting, but if you do layer it up with the body cream and spray heavily, you can get your scent to last. Like, I was wearing this one the other day, and I feel like I did get a good 5 hours of wear out of this one. Of course, these are really inexpensive, especially during sale time. Bath & Body Works has their semi-annual sale the 26th of December, where you guys can get some great deals on these. I don't know if this one will be included because this one was a spring launch. They might be sold out of it, but I totally agree with this being a top fragrance of the year. It is so good. Definitely backup worthy, and I could see why this took the #1 spot this year. This had to be probably the second most mentioned. This was mentioned so many times, and this is Kayali's Yum Pistachio Gelato. Another top favorite for me as well. This one is just, I feel like it's so much of a crowd pleaser. Like, everyone likes this because it's sweet without being too sweet. It has this like fresh and clean element to it. It truly does smell like a clean ice cream shop. Like, it has this citrusy, zesty opening with cotton candy and marshmallows, and it dries down really creamy sweet. You get more of the pistachio in like the base. I know in my initial review, I feel like I was a little harsh on this one, but it was just so unexpected. Like, when I heard that this was coming out, I was so excited. This had so much hype going around it. It was just not what I was expecting, because it's not ultra gourmand pistachio. It's still in the gourmand fragrance category, but it's definitely more like a really fruity, fresh pistachio perfume, and I do have so much love for it now. But you know, initially, I mean, I want to give all my thoughts. I'm always an honest reviewer. I never said it was bad, but it was just different. But I've been using it so much this year too, and it's such a good one. I've definitely made a huge dent in this one, and this is the giant bottle of it. Back to another fragrance mist. This one was mentioned a ton from Bath & Body Works. This is Cozy Vanilla Bourbon. I know so many people loved this fragrance. I feel like, again, I gave it a harsh review at first, and I like it. I think they've had better vanillas, but it's definitely one of their better scents that they launched this year, because there wasn't a lot to choose from, to be honest. This has notes of warm bourbon, dark fruit, and vanilla liquor. This is more of a really kind of dark, boozy vanilla. It's very similar to Fireside Flurries from Bath & Body Works, which is another favorite of mine, without like the lavender note that Fireside Flurries has. But it really is beautiful. This one has grown on me. I feel like when I first initially smelled this, it seemed just like almost too boozy, too smoky, but now it just seems kind of sugary. I don't know why my opinions have changed on this one, but I do like this one even more. I think it is such a nice boozy, sugary vanilla. If you guys like sweet whiskey and Fireside Flurries, it's kind of like those two had a baby and created Cozy Vanilla Bourbon. It is really nice, and it was definitely a bestseller at Bath & Body Works this year. Another one in that same category from Bath & Body Works is the Fresh Vanilla Blossoms. A lot of you guys loved this one too. Now, I will say, there's something about this that I don't like. It's funny because I have a nail polish remover that smells like this. So now every time I smell this, I just can think of the nail polish remover. And I feel like that ruined the fragrance for me. And I'm kind of sad about it. But you know, like when people mention something, like they'll say like, oh, that perfume smells like cleaner. And that's like all that you can think of. That's like all I can think of with this fragrance. But I know a lot of you guys really like this. This one has notes of suede petals, soft sandalwood, and vanilla bean. And it is a nice kind of clean girl vanilla, kind of soft, a little musky, a little powdery. But I don't know why it smells like nail polish remover to me. Let me know if I'm the only one, but I know a lot of you guys actually love this one. So I know it has a cult following, but it must not work on my skin. I know some fragrances don't work on everyone. Sometimes your skin pulls different notes. My skin pulls a lot of vanilla, it seems. Like even yesterday I was wearing Burberry Goddess at TJ Maxx, and the lady's like, what perfume are you wearing? Is that Vanilla 28? You smell so good. I'm like, actually it's Burberry Goddess. And she had said that she tried to smell that one in stores and it was so lavender on her, but on me it smelled very vanilla. So it's just so interesting. This one I'm probably going to end up decluttering out of my collection. It's not a favorite for me, but in general I would say this is one to maybe try at the store, maybe smell it, see if it's something that you like, because a lot of you guys seem to love this one. Speaking of Burberry Goddess, this also made the cut. A lot of you guys had mentioned this one as well. Look at my dent, you guys. I wear the crap out of this one. I love this too. I really do. I thought this was such a fun vanilla that came out this year. I know a lot of people said it was basic, but I just feel like this is such a wearable vanilla. It's not ultra sweet. It still smells like rich girl vanilla in my opinion. And some people say it doesn't last on them. For me, it lasted all day yesterday. Like I said, I got a compliment from the TJ Maxx girl yesterday, and it stayed on from me from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. at night. To me, this kind of reminds me, if you took YSL Libra and then added like a ton of vanilla, that's kind of what Burberry Goddess smells like. It's not vanilla cupcake, but it smells very elegant, very pretty, just a nice daily scent. I definitely need to grab the big bottle next time because this is just the baby one. This one has top notes of vanilla, lavender, cacao, and ginger, middle notes of vanilla caviar, and base notes of vanilla absolute. It's so delicious. Now this is another one that got so many votes from you guys. This is a newer fragrance. This is Dolce & Gabbana Devotion, and I know my gourmand lovers voted for this one because I mean it is a gourmand. This is another lemon scent that came out this year. This one, it's definitely not as gourmand as the Bath & Body Works Lemon Pound Cake. This one, it starts off as a very citrusy lemon at first. Some people get cleaner vibes from this, but some people, it really pulls the sweetness, and my skin loves this one, and it dries down more like vanilla cake, but you have to get past the initial opening because it does just seem like very sugary citrus, but in the dry down you get more of that like vanilla kind of, it reminds me of a lemon drop candy kind of. Not so much lemon pound cake, but more lemon drop candy. I really love this one too, but again, I have seen people that don't get the sweetness from it, that get more of like a cleaner kind of smell and aren't really fans of it. So I think it's one you kind of have to try in stores. I will say I wore a lot in the beginning of the year of Acro's Bake perfume, which is more of an indie fragrance. I feel like they're kind of the same price point, but the Dolce & Gabbana is just just more accessible than the Acro is, because you have to buy that from like indie perfume companies. But this to me smells pretty much spot on to Acro Big. I feel like they're pretty good dupes for each other, and they remind me so much of each other. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But it's so fun to see designers come out with more gourmand candy-like perfumes, because honestly gourmand perfumes are having a moment, and I think they're going to be really big for 2024. Even if Bath & Body Works isn't giving them, they're kind of missing the trend, because gourmands have been just like hyped up this year and will be next year as well. The notes on Devotion are top notes of candied lemon, middle notes of orange blossom, panna cotta, and rum, and base notes of vanilla. Another one that you guys love from Bath & Body Works, this one is the whipped coconut milkshake. Now, this one, I don't think I loved it as much, because I just felt like it to me seemed more like a watered down version of coconut cream pie, which was a scent that Bath & Body Works did a few years ago. And coconut cream pie is so beast mode to me that this one just kind of seemed like they were trying to go for that. It didn't seem quite there. But if you haven't tried coconut cream pie, I can see why people love this fragrance, because it is really similar. So whipped coconut milkshake, this one has notes of vanilla ice cream, toasted coconut, and sugared amber. And you definitely get this really ultra sweet kind of coconut cake from this one. Coconut cream pie I think is a little bit more like toasted, and this one has more of like a tropical coconut in it, but it is very sweet, very ice cream like for sure. So I do see why so many people love this one. This one came out as a semi-annual sale scent, so I don't know if you can really get your hands on it anymore unless they have any leftovers at this year's sale, so you'll definitely have to check. But a lot of you guys said that you loved the whipped coconut milkshake this year. Now this perfume is more affordable, and it got quite a few mentions from you guys. This is by Finery, and this is exciting because they just launched at Target in 2023, and they are kind of a dupe fragrance brand. What's weird is they never say exactly what they're duping, maybe because that gets them into trouble, but you just kind of have to guess. But they give like little hints. So Not Another Cherry smells like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, so it's kind of duping that. And the Tom Ford Lost Cherry is such a good fragrance. This smells just like it at such a much more affordable price point, and it's so good. This one gives off like super sweet cherry and a little almond. Ugh, delicious. It smells just like the Tom Ford. I know this one sold out several times this year, and you guys loved it as well, because of course we want the dupe for Tom Ford. Tom Ford is like, what, $300 for their fragrance. This is like $20 for this, for about the same longevity even. So this was just a really exciting brand to target, and I can't wait to see if they come out with even more scents this year. But I would totally agree with you guys, this was my favorite of the bunch too. So this one has notes of cherry, almond, amaretto, and Turkish rose. The next perfume was mentioned by you guys so many times, and I had never heard of this, and I was like, what is this fragrance? Like, so many of you guys mentioned it that I literally got onto Google and ordered myself a bottle, because I was like, wow, so many people had mentioned the scent. I hadn't heard of it. I was so curious as to what it was. So then when I finally like did some research on it, I realized it's another YouTuber's fragrance brand. So SMLXO, I believe, Stephanie Letta created the Letta perfumes, and you guys loved 22 Oris from her line. So I have my bottle on the way. Of course, I can't tell you guys what it smells like now, but I just wanted you to know that this was definitely a fan favorite, and I think it's so cool that it's another influencer brand. I'm not that familiar with Stephanie. I've definitely heard of her. I know she's been on YouTube for a long time, but I'm very curious about her fragrances. So I did just want to read a little bit about the fragrance. This has really great reviews on Fragrantica, which is awesome because people are harsh on there. But this says it has top notes of pear leaf, freesia, pink pepper, middle notes of orris, jasmine, lily of the valley, base notes of marshmallow, musk, sandalwood, and moss. So even though these aren't the notes I typically go for, I trust your guys' recommendations. A lot of people compared this to Ellis Brooklyn Sunfruit, which is a really pretty tropical scent, as well as Fleur's Father Figure. So I like all of those. Glossier You, Ellis Brooklyn Sweet, I love that one. So I feel like I'm gonna like this because it seems like it's gonna be a nice kind of skin clean but a little fruity kind of scent. That sounds definitely my vibes. So I'm excited for this one. Let me know if that is something that you guys have tried. I think they have a vanilla scent too that I'm really curious about. Had to throw in a little update here because look what arrived, my Leda perfume, and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts as well. It's good, you guys. It is good. This one definitely reminds me of a much sweeter version of Glossier You. Very similar to Ellis Brooklyn's Sweet, which is another favorite of mine, but it is like clean musk and fruits. So pretty, such a nice daily scent. So I had to update that I'm loving it just as much as you guys. And speaking of Fleur Father Figure, this one also made the list. So I just have a small size of this one because this one for me, it's not a love, but it is a like for me. It's just a little bit, I think, too unisex for me, but it reminds me so much of Glossier You, which used to be a favorite of mine, but for some reason I'm getting very burnt out on it. It's very clean and musky to me and a little bit of fruitiness from the fig in here, but I wish it had more of the fig and I think I would like it a bit more, but I don't know. This one might be one that kind of grows on me a little bit, but you guys know I just prefer the more sweet scents. But if you guys just want like a nice clean musk, very simple scent for every day, I think you would really like this one because it was such a fan favorite this year. This one has top notes of fig, cassis, and water lily, middle notes of orris root, iris, and jasmine, base notes of musk, Madagascar vanilla, sandalwood, and patchouli leaf. Next perfume I did get quite a few mentions of, and I thought I would get more, but I can see why because it's kind of one that's hard to get. But this is Bianca Latte by Giardini de Toscana, and this has taken the internet by storm this year. Holy crap, it's I think sold out now. I don't know if you can still get your hands on it. This is, spoiler alert, also in my top perfumes of the year, and it's really incredible. This I guess the Bianca Latte means milk in Italian, so it's kind of like a milky fragrance, but this is a powerhouse. This is one of the yummiest vanilla scents on the market. Very creamy, very lactonic. It smells like cookies and it lasts days on the skin. This is so intense, but it is one of the best gourmands I've ever tried in my life, and that is saying a lot. Like, I've tried a lot of gourmands. This is so good. So if you haven't had a chance to even grab a sample of this yet, I know Lucky Scent usually has samples. I really want to get, they have a lotion in this scent as well that I'm so wanting to pick up. I think it's been sold out, but yeah, it's a little bit of a not so well-known perfume here on YouTube, but everyone on TikTok is talking about it, and it has sold out a couple of times. It's such a good fragrance. This one has top notes of caramel, middle notes of coumarin, honey, and then base notes of vanilla and white musk, but it literally smells like delicious vanilla cookies. No chocolate, but like baking cookies, cookie dough. So yummy. A couple more Bath & Body Works scents to mention. A lot of you guys loved Together Weather this year, as did I. This has notes of Blushing Breeze, Sugared Cardamom, and Soft Cedar. This one I think is really popular because it's actually a dupe for Sol de Janeiro's Cheirosa 40 fragrance. So this has just a really sweet kind of red berries and vanilla type of vibe and a little bit of that floral background from the cardamom, but overall it is really sweet and so delicious. If you guys do like the Sol de Janeiro scent, you'll love this. Like, definitely pair them together. The Sol de Janeiro one might be like a little sweeter, a little less floral, but this one is really, really pretty from Bath & Body Works. And then the last Bath & Body Works scent that got a lot of mentions from you guys is Cocoa Paradise, which this one definitely impressed me too this year, but this just smells like luxury vacation. It has notes of salted coconut manoi, sugared neroli, and bronze sandalwood. It smells like a luxurious resort, really similar to Alien Goddess from Mugler. It's so vacation-like without being like super sunscreeny. If you guys like beachy scents, this is definitely one to check out. And then last but not least, I had to throw this in here. I know this just launched, but a lot of you guys mentioned that you've been loving it so far. So I was so shocked to see so many of you write this one down for your top fragrance of the year. And this is the Eden Sparkling Lychee. So this one has notes of blackcurrant, sparkling lychee, rose, candied violet, sugared amber, and sandalwood. And I can see why this is a fan favorite because it's very just like fruity, happy vibes, so fun. Gives you like this nice, bubbly, effervescent kind of scent that tingles your nose a little bit. It is really nice. So I feel like in general, this is just a pleaser for anyone. It's not overpowering. It's not super strong where it's gonna give off like a headache or anything like that. It's just fruity, fun, a little floral. And you guys are loving this one already. So I had to also mention that because it did get mentioned a few times. So this just launched. I think it's sold out on Sephora because they have been doing a 20% off fragrance event. But check in your stores maybe. Or the Kayali website should also have this one available. But this brand is on a roll and no one is stopping them. That is it for your top fragrances of 2023. Thanks so much for giving me your input and sharing your favorites with me. Let me know if you guys want to see my favorites as well, even though a lot of them are in this video. I'll try to switch it up and give you guys some really fun ones. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. All these perfumes will be linked or in the YouTube shopping tool here. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.